Right now at 10, a lawsuit is filed against the city of Madison after dozens of ballots went missing in the November election. What the lawyers in the case are hoping to achieve.
And keeping a close eye on Future Track for the latest on who's going to get water over the course of the next couple days. I have all the answers on when you might get wet.
Plus, stocking Madison's lakes. We talk with the groups that are working to preserve our state fish. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Franke. Sarah Carlson is off tonight, and we begin with continuing coverage to a story we've been following for months. Law Forward has filed a class action lawsuit on behalf of 193 voters whose ballots weren't counted in November. Ellie LaLiberte spoke with one of the lawyers today and asked about what he hopes to achieve with the lawsuit.
In short, it's looking for money. This lawsuit argues that these voters should be financially compensated for having their constitutional right violated. Now, the missing ballots didn't sway the outcome of any election, but Law Forward argues that it sets an example.
What is the price of a vote? That's the question Law Forward President Jeff Mandel is asking.
If a vote is not counted, if a vote is interfered with, that comes with a cost.
Mandel says the law firm is filing this class action lawsuit against the city on behalf of 193 voters whose absentee ballots went uncounted in the November 2024 election. In March, the firm filed a notice of claim that identified damages at $175,000. But the suit filed Wednesday will have a jury decide that actual dollar amount.
These are people who took the time, made the effort, did everything right, and submitted absentee ballots, and through no fault of their own, the city of Madison failed to count their votes.
Now, the lawsuit's 8 plaintiffs claim officials failed to take action to have their votes counted, citing an investigation from the Wisconsin Elections Commission.
One of the things that I believe in very strongly is the importance of maintaining the integrity of our elections.
The WEC chair, Ann Jacobs, says when some of the missing ballots were discovered, there was still time to have the votes counted. But instead, the former clerk went on vacation the next day.
So what we found is that there was no leadership, no urgency, no concern about these ballots being found.
In response, the acting Madison clerk, Michael Haas, says the city is working to rebuild trust with voters, saying, quote, "The city has made significant changes to the way it processes absentee ballots and strengthened its documentation protocols," adding later, quote, "We are confident that what happened in November 2024 will not be repeated."
This is a deeply unfortunate incident, but was a series of compounding errors, and we expect that we will be successful.
Mandel tells me the city now has 45 days to show up and respond in court to this suit, but it could be about a year or even longer before we see this case go to trial.
Ellie, thank you. In the aftermath of the investigation, Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway appointed Lydia McComas to be the city's next clerk, and she'll begin in that role on September 29th. Well, it has been a dry stretch, especially the past few days. Rain, though, we hope is on the way. Alex, when might these showers reach Madison?
Tomorrow, to answer that question. Tomorrow, we'll have those showers that have been really out to our west and to our southwest for a few days now with this weather system. It's been literally, I guess all pun intended, inching its way off towards the east. All this green you see right here on Radar 3000, that's just ground clutter. But let's show you what tomorrow is going to be like as we get to about the noon time on Friday. A couple showers in southwest Wisconsin, but these areas to the west of Madison have had those few showers and those few thunderstorms. This just in, this is the latest Future Track update, and this has been consistent now for a few days, painting a couple scattered showers and thunderstorms stretching from Black River Falls to Camp Douglas to the Dells to Madison to Janesville. These would be some well appreciated drops of water. And as we go a little bit further into Friday night and then into Saturday, we keep a couple of showers and a couple rumbles of thunder going on into the early part of Saturday. Saturday has even more rain chances in the forecast, and we'll keep those rain chances alive for Sunday going on into Monday. Will those rain chances on Saturday impact the Badger game? We'll talk about that when I come back in a little while.
All right, Alex, thank you. The Janesville man accused of trafficking a North Carolina teen has been indicted by a federal grand jury. Adam Gurney charged with transporting a minor with intent to engage in criminal activity. He faces between 10 years to life in prison if convicted. Janesville police began investigating Gurney in early August after receiving a tip from the Clay County, North Carolina Sheriff's Office. They said he had traveled to the county to meet a teen. Gurney was arrested without incident. The teen then released to her father. And 2 people are dead after a crash near Whitewater. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says it happened yesterday afternoon. This was on County Highway N there, just south of Carnes Road, near the town of Cold Spring. Deputies say a semi-tractor trailer veered onto the gravel shoulder and then overcorrected and crossed the center line, hitting an SUV. The driver and front passenger of the SUV were pronounced dead at the scene. The semi-driver was not injured. That crash remains under investigation. The Wisconsin State Patrol and School Bus Association are teaming up to promote school bus safety. The effort is part of the Operation Safe Stop Week initiative, and that focuses on the dangers of passing a stopped school bus. According to WISC-TV, more than 1,200 citations were given to motorists for failing to stop. A Wisconsin law requires drivers in both directions to stop at least 20 feet from a school bus with flashing red warning lights. A citation for failure to stop for a school bus would cost you $676.50 and 4 demerit points. State School Superintendent Dr. Jill Underly delivers her State of the Education address today, putting a spotlight on the achievements and challenges facing the state's public education system. Dr. Underly highlighted record high graduation rates, also expanded opportunities in STEM, career, and technical education. However, she did point to increasing threats to school stability, including a lack of funding, leading to teachers leaving the profession.
When we ignore, we lose talent. 4 out of every 10 new teachers leaves Wisconsin or the profession entirely within just a few years. Behind those numbers are real people, teachers who had the passion, the skill, the dedication to make a difference, and yet they were forced to step away from a profession they trained for and loved.
In response to the address, Wisconsin Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu says that Wisconsin's education system can be summed up in one word: unaccountable, adding that, quote, parents, students, and taxpayers deserve better. The Wisconsin DNR is boosting the muskie population at 3 Madison lakes with help from Capital City Muskies, Inc. The joint effort between the two goes back all the way to the 1980s. And photojournalist Brian Mesmer went out to the event to find out what makes the state fish so special in these waters.
So today we're stocking muskies into the Madison chain with the help of the DNR. Today, a total of 2,300. So there's 100 in Wingara, about 1,200 here, and just over 1,000 in Waubesa. It takes the fish about 4 years to get to about 30 inches, and they do grow all the way up over 50. That takes probably about 15 to 17 years. 50-inch muskies have been caught here.
Muskie right there. It's fun, and I get to spend time with my dad and family. So, and the fun and excitement of it is, like, when you catch one and when you get it in the boat, your heart's pumping, and it's really fun.
It's something we enjoy doing together, and he really enjoys catching the bigger fish.
I'm 10 years old, and I've only caught one that was like 24 inches or 25. Yeah, 25. It was very fun.
That's a cool picture.
The excitement of the muskies when they come in behind your lure, sometimes they bite, sometimes they don't, but when they do, it's usually quite a fight on your hands.
My favorite muskie story happened just a couple weeks ago when my son was reeling in a walleye and a ginormous muskie latched onto it. And unfortunately, we caught neither, but that was up in Canada. But that was the most interesting thing that's happened to me in a boat in a long time. They say it's the fish of 10,000 casts. I think it's more than that, but it's a struggle. It's a long day, but it's still fun. The thrill of catching one is really a treat, and it's a story you can tell everybody. I take my 14-year-old son all the time, and he absolutely loves it. He caught one just a couple weeks ago out here, so it's a great sport to get people involved in.
A great bonding between father and son as well. Again, we want to thank Brian Mesmer for shooting this story. Meanwhile, Lakes Mendota and Kegonsa do not receive stocked muskies since they're not managed by the Wisconsin DNR fisheries. Another muskie stocking event is planned for the Olin boat launch on Lake Monona on October 23rd. Well, a splash of color is brightening up the streets of Madison. Local artist Bernie Witzak, known for her vibrant screen prints, was chosen by the city to create a new asphalt mural on West Dayton between Bassett and Francis. The project, a collaboration with the Madison Arts Commission and DC-based Chalk Riot. It aims to beautify the city and make streets safer for everyone.
It's a pilot project to test whether art and beautiful, colorful things can calm traffic, help people slow down so there's less pedestrian, car, and bicycle incidences on our streets.
Now, data collected from the project will be used by city officials to evaluate the impact of street murals on traffic patterns and pedestrian safety in Madison. Ed Sheeran is set to make his return to Milwaukee next year for Summerfest. Sheeran, best known for his songs like Shape of You, The A-Team, and Perfect, scheduled to perform June 25th next year at Summerfest. Now, he last performed at the festival way back in July of 2015. Tickets will be sold to the public starting next Friday. A link to sign up for artist presale tickets can be found on our website, channel3000.com. Still ahead at 10, President Trump talks trade in the United Kingdom, and the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Committee meets in Washington, D.C. What restrictions were placed on the MMR-V combination shot? That's next. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10, moving forward.
President Trump heading back to Washington after paying a state visit to the United Kingdom today. He met with UK's Prime Minister to discuss trade and policy. The leaders signed a new tech partnership focused on energy and also artificial intelligence. They also discussed shared goals of ending Russia's war with Ukraine as negotiations with Russian President Vladimir Putin have stalled.
He's let me down. He's really let me down.
We have to put extra pressure on Putin, and it's only when the president has put pressure on Putin that he's actually shown any inclination to move. So we have to ramp that pressure up.
The UK also announced plans to help build U.S. military aircraft, creating jobs in both countries as the leaders play up the long-standing economic and national security alliance. Today, 2 common childhood vaccines were being examined by the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. In an 8-3 vote, the panel adopted new restrictions for the MMR-V combination shot. Now, children under 4 should get 1 shot for measles, mumps, and rubella, and then a separate one for varicella, or the chicken pox. Earlier this year, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. fired all of the panel members and picked their replacements, some who share his vaccine skepticism. The committee chairman defended the new group.
You are falsely being called anti-vaxxers, but your stance is not only pro-children, but also pro-science, pro-public health, and pro-vaccines.
Now, the panel also debated the hepatitis B vaccine recommendation, but made no changes. Tomorrow, the panel will debate COVID vaccine recommendations as well. The weekend just about here, and that means we got a Badger game, a home game, the Big Ten opener. And Alex, maybe some raindrops. How should people prepare?
They probably want to bring that red poncho. I would suggest as we go into a day where we are going to have some scattered showers around the area, there may be a silver lining here, at least a little window of opportunity where things are a bit more on the dry side. But after the wind, better chances for those showers and those thunderstorms. Let's just get tracking right away here. Friday, 6 o'clock in the morning. Got those showers in southwest Wisconsin. Finally, those showers make it to the east. I say finally because we really could use some rain in southern Wisconsin, from Black River Falls to the Dells down to Madison to Janesville. We keep those showers, maybe a rumble or 2 of thunder going on for the first part of Saturday night. Then as we get into the morning hours towards 6 o'clock, notice everything becomes a little bit more sparse as we head towards that all-important 11 a.m. kickoff time. Madison, areas towards the south and east, a little bit lesser of a chance of scattered showers. More showers, maybe a rumble of thunder starting to build in southwest Wisconsin. As we go towards the middle of the game and towards the end of the game, better chances for showers at this latest future track projection just northwest of Madison. So perhaps here in Dane County, we may sneak by just a little bit here just to get that game in before those showers and a couple thunderstorms become more widespread again as we go into Saturday evening and then Saturday overnight. Right now, radar 3000 looks like it's impressive, but this is just ground clutter. It's just a pigmentation of the radar. There's some moisture near the ground. A couple showers to the southwest. Nothing big in store for our area. Those showers will largely stay off towards the west tonight, but then again advance towards the east as we go in to Friday. So the bottom line here on the rain, mostly to the west overnight. Higher chances of rain this weekend. The weekend not looking like a full washout. As I just showed you Saturday, there will be a little bit of dry time. Now, speaking of dry stuff, we have abnormally dry conditions building back into southern Wisconsin. We had gotten rid of this in August, but now, after a few weeks of very little, if any, rain, Darlington, Monroe, Janesville, over towards Elkhorn, you're experiencing abnormally dry conditions. And if we don't get any rain this weekend, or if we get not a whole lot, those dry conditions are going to continue to build across southern Wisconsin. For the month, we should have about 2 inches, but we're down by about an inch. All we've had is 0.7 of an inch at the airport. For the year, 29 inches is normal, and we're down by about 3/4 of an inch. So this is an important time. We need to start getting some of those raindrops, or again, that abnormally dry conditions is going to spread across the rest of southern Wisconsin. Low to mid 60s for lows tonight, highs in the mid to upper 70s with those scattered showers and those thunderstorms building on in. Again, we might be able to sneak that Badger game in dry, but I would prepare to bring that red poncho nonetheless. Fall starts on Monday at 77 degrees for a high, and that's going to be a good 5 degrees above normal, and then we'll dry out again as we head out towards the latter part of next week.
All right, yeah, every once in a while we get one of those Badger games where it's a soaker, but you're thinking maybe not. Just be prepared.
Be prepared. Could have that tiny little window of opportunity, and I'd totally tune in tomorrow night for the latest future track projection.
All right, Alex, thank you. Speaking of those Badgers, they're looking to rebound from that loss last week to Alabama. We'll hear from the players and head coach Luke Fickell. They're getting ready for Big Ten play next in sports.
Whatever happened for the Badgers against Alabama last week has been banished to the past, because this Saturday, a new season starts. As they begin Big Ten play, a conference slate that they know won't be easy. In fact, one of the most challenging stretches any team will face in the nation this year. But on the flip side, they know if they can take care of business, all of those goals they had at the start of the season are still in front of them.
2-1 right now. There's a lot of teams that are the same way. So just being able to, go execute against Big Ten opponents, and yeah, like you said, everything that we want is still in front of us, and it's a mountain to climb, and we just got to take it one game at a time.
There's a lot of ball left. That's something that Coach Fick talks about, Coach Coop talks about. The league season starts now, and there's a big mountain to climb, but it's still all in front of us. And individually, as a team, we're looking forward to it.
Where else do we go? Right? I mean, we know that the season really begins now. We got to be able to move forward. We got to be able to get ourselves out of here. We got to be able to get as healthy as we can, and we got to get into league play, and we got to get better.
We still don't know if Billy Edwards Jr. will play against his now former team, Maryland, on Saturday, but we do know he's jumping at the opportunity to try and play. He warmed up before last week's game and has been practicing all week. It's a storyline we'll continue to follow, but for now at Camp Randall Stadium, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Sports.
Andrew, thank you. And don't forget to watch Week 2 of the Wisconsin Huddle. Badger kicker Nathaniel Vakos, this week's guest as Wisconsin gets ready for the Big Ten opener against Maryland. The Huddle airs on Channel 3 tomorrow night at 6:30. Well, now to an update from Green Bay, where Jordan Love might be down yet another one of his top targets. Emerging NFL star tight end Tucker Kraft injured at practice today. News 3 Now senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has an update on Kraft's condition.
The Packers got a bit of a scare today when their emerging star tight end Tucker Kraft left practice with a left knee injury that he suffered during the practice. He was evaluated, tests were done after practice, and he was added to the injury report as a limited participant. Now, we'll have his status given to us on Friday, but it was at least a nervous moment or two for Packers offensive coordinator Adam Stenavich, who knows how important Tucker Kraft is to what they do offensively, but he also knows that they have 3 more tight ends that they do trust.
Obviously, if anyone goes down that you have as a part of your game plan, you'll have to adjust some things. So we'll kind of see what happens with the injury report and everything like that, and what the trainers say, and we'll make adjustments. Right, I like our room with the tight end room. All the guys have played, so I think we'll be able to figure out the best path forward depending on what happens there with Tucker.
Now, I was told tonight that Tucker Kraft's injury is not a major injury. In fact, he is now expected to play against the Cleveland Browns on Sunday in Cleveland. But if the Packers choose to limit his snaps or choose to be a little extra cautious with him, their next 3 tight ends that they have at their disposal are Luke Musgrave, Ben Sims, and John Fitzpatrick. We will see what happens with Tucker Kraft, and we'll have full coverage of that throughout the weekend, and of course Sunday's game at channel3000.com for free. And while you're there, don't forget to sign up for our Packers newsletter, which delivers our coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
All right, Jason, thanks for the good news on Tucker Kraft and the Packers take on the Browns Sunday in Cleveland. That kickoff set for noon. Now, the Angels back at AmFam Field tonight. Milwaukee looking to pull off the clean sweep before they head off to St. Louis tomorrow. This one was scoreless until the bottom of the fourth. Hustle, the story of the season for the Brew Crew. Caleb Durbin legging out an infield single, and that gets Milwaukee on the board, scoring Andrew Vaughn there. But the Halos were back on top 2-1 in the seventh when Milwaukee starts to rally past them. It was tied at 2 when Bryce Terang singles to center. That'll score Jackson Churio around from second. Milwaukee would spot 5 of them in the frame, and that includes an RBI double for Christian Yelich. Scoring Terang here on the deep ball to left field. That's 100 RBI now for Christian Yelich. The Brewers sweep is complete. 5-2 the final. That's all for sports. Alex is back. Final check of the forecast when we come back.
Tonight, Colbert's all new.
Welcome back to the Late Show. We still on the air?
Yep, and Jake Tapper stops in for an all-new Late Show. CBS Tonight.
Finally tonight, Alaska's biggest brown bears are back for Fat Bear Week, the online contest where fans vote for the chubbiest champ in Katmai National Park each fall. The bears pack on the pounds, feasting on salmon to prepare for their hibernation. Sometimes they even just walk out there. He looked like he was going to do some fly fishing. Yeah. This year's salmon run was especially strong, making for some seriously contestants. He looks like he's just sitting in the hot tub there, doesn't he? And voting kicks off with the younger bears this week, leading into the main event next week, and the winner will be crowned on September 30th. You can watch the bears and vote online at fatbearweek.org. That is a real thing, folks. Those bears look pretty comfortable, and they look well fed. They look pretty happy. Forecast, keeping an eye on the rain.
Yep, keeping an eye on the rain. It's been to the west for days and days. It's finally going to make it into the rest of southern Wisconsin tonight. Most areas dry overnight, I should say. It's going to make it into southern Wisconsin tomorrow by the time we get to about 5, 6 o'clock, expecting scattered showers and thunderstorms to develop across the area. And the shower and thunderstorm activity is going to continue into this upcoming weekend. As I was mentioned before at the end of weather, you're going to want to tune in tomorrow night. I'll have the latest future track projection on those showers and storms and see if we can still keep that window, that narrow window of opportunity for dry weather on Saturday for the game. 11 to about 2 they'll be playing that game. So hopefully it's not too bad. Alex, thank you. Colbert Show coming your way next. Our next newscast coming tomorrow morning. That all starts at 4:30. And you can always find us streaming, of course, 24/7 at Channel 3000+. Have a great night.